Hello everybody, Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 4 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here today to give you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. How to bring more clarity, confidence, and creativity into everything you do. Today I want to give you my thoughts, my tips, so to speak, on stress-free travel. As a speaker and a consultant, I do a lot of travel, and I really enjoy it, partly because I choose to enjoy it. A little bit more on that later. But I was looking at last year, and I think I probably traveled maybe 200, 225 days out of the year. So I do this a lot, and I really do enjoy it. So I want to give you my tips on how to enjoy travel in case you're going to travel and you want to use any of these. The first tip is start with your highest purpose. Make sure you've decided that the most important thing in this travel experience is that you will enjoy it. Now, notice how that's different from a lot of people. A lot of people look at travel as a means to an end, a way to get somewhere so that then they can either enjoy something or if it's a business trip, kind of get through it. That particular perspective is not going to serve you if you want to enjoy travel. Now, some people don't think it's possible to enjoy travel. Yeah, give me a break. The security, the airlines, the delays. Oh, my goodness, the baby's crying on the airplane. Oh, and of course, if that is how you perceive it, that's how you experience it. As I travel, I look around and I see a lot of people not enjoying the experience. Now, I'm having the same experience. I have chosen, number one, to enjoy it. So I'm going to encourage you to set your purpose. Your highest purpose. How do you want to feel? How do you want to experience your travel? For me, it's enjoy. So, number one, start at the very beginning. I encourage you to enjoy planning. You know, the internet is wonderful now. It gives you an opportunity to look at hotels and reviews and pictures and places and things to do where you go and routes and traffic patterns and all kinds of wonderful ways. To me, I love to plan my trip. It gives me more control. And there's a lot of research out there that speaks to how when we feel in control or we can influence our experience in some ways, that allows us to enjoy the experience more. So I encourage you to start with planning. So that's number 2. Number 3 is you want to pack in a way that's enjoyable. I never check baggage because I'm not a fan of, number 1, standing in line to do something. That for me is not enjoyable. I have to work really hard to enjoy that. So I never check baggage. There's some wonderful YouTube videos on how to use a carry-on for multiple days. I think there's something on there around 2 to 6 weeks. So I've looked at those and they work, and so I'm going to encourage you to do that as well. I also choose a carry-on that is known to be enjoyable to move around the airport. Mine is a Travel Pro. I got this from looking at airline pilots. Have you noticed they travel a lot? And very few of them have these kind of 4-wheel things. I've never seen one that has a 4-wheel thing. All the time it has something that you have a carry-on, you hook something onto. So this is the way that I travel. If you love your 4-wheel things and you enjoy using those, then terrific. But I would encourage you to choose a piece of luggage that is enjoyable to travel with. That may not be the least expensive, didn't have to be the most expensive. You want to look for things like inline wheels and ball bearings and things that roll easily and have a long enough handle for you to walk comfortably. I encourage you to enjoy the trip from home to the airport. Notice how many people are kind of going, oh, we gotta, and the trip is stressful and you start the experience all stressed out. You know, think of a book on tape or some music or NPR, something you want to listen to, or how do you want to enjoy the trip to the airport. I encourage you to enjoy parking. Pretty strange, huh? There are some airports where parking is really easy and you just park in the garage and it's great. You walk right to the airport. Some airports, like Hobby Airport in Houston, parking can be a pain. And what most people do is they park in an off lot, you know what I'm talking about. And they ride a little bus or whatever to the airport. I'm a big fan of parking on the airport property and then just moving and going to the airport. With Hobby, I use valet parking. The parking fee for the regular parking on lot at Hobby is like $19. The valet is $25, $6 a day. You get to just roll up. They take your car. You walk right into the airport. It's wonderful. So, number 4 is security. I'm going to encourage you, if you don't already have Traveler Pre-Check, to get that. Now, it's wonderful because you go through shorter lines. You don't have to take off your shoes and your belt and your stuff out of your pack, your laptop. It's just very convenient. You can now get that through Nexus. Nexus is what you use to get into Canada. But Canada, if you get Nexus, which will only cost you $50, it's the cheapest version of this, you get global entry. So if you ever come into the United States, you don't have to go through the passport line. You just go through this little thing, and it's really easily. You get into Canada, you short line. They will also give you the pre-check. So you get all of that for $50. And trust me, boy, anytime I'm going to the airport, I allow maybe 10 minutes to get through security because that's all it takes, sometimes less than that. It's a wonderful experience. Number 5 is the airport. You know, airports today are starting to be very traveler friendly. There's shops and there's restaurants and there's things, there's comfortable chairs. I know there's one in Dallas that has rocking chairs. Southwest has a lot of their overstuffed chairs you get to sit in. It has a little plug thing. You want to find a spot in the airport that you enjoy. Most airports now have Wi-Fi. You want to enjoy being in the airport. Number 6 is being on the plane. I choose to fly Southwest because the people who run Southwest mostly enjoy their job. The travel agents, the people at the front desk, the people on the plane, they may be singing a song or smiling, but mostly they enjoy it. So they are matching my highest purpose. I enjoy kind of choosing my own seat. I enjoy flying on the bigger planes. So sometimes if I'm going to a city that doesn't have Southwest, I will often fly to the city close to that and drive even a couple of hours to that city in order to fly Southwest. I'm just a big fan of that airline, the way they run their business, the way they treat their people, the way they treat their customers. I do bring some things to enjoy on the plane. If there's something I want to work on, and it's going to take some concentration, I will have that, because you're going to spend 2 or 3 hours kind of on that plane. You want to do something you're enjoying. Bring a DVD, bring a movie. If there's babies near you, poor babies, they don't know they're not supposed to be screaming. It could be their ear, the pressure is hurting their ears. Could be they're just moms and dads haven't brought enough things for them to play with. So what you want to do is have what I call baby blockers. They're little earplugs you bring in that plug into your laptop or your DVD or your DVD player, MP3 or whatever, so that you can enjoy the trip, even if there is a baby near you who isn't enjoying the trip. Next is the rental car. Get off the plane. Number 1, you don't have to check baggage. That's pretty cool. You roll and you go to the rental car. I like to use Hertz. They have nicer cars. They're kept clean, and you don't have to wait in line. You don't have to go to the counter. You use Hertz Gold. It's free. You go to the counter, or you go to the thing where it says your name. You pick up your car. You drive out. They give you your contract as you're driving out. Very nice. When you return, if you have Hertz e-return, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to wait for the little person to come and give you a receipt. They will just send you that in the email, and it's a wonderful way to do it. I love renting new cars. I also love driving SUVs, small to medium-sized SUVs. I like to be up high. So I will almost always rent a small to medium-sized SUV. I'm enjoying it. I'm up high. I can see where I'm going. And it's a brand new car. And I love riding and driving new cars. Next is the hotel. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars to have a really nice experience at the hotel. Hampton Inns, Hilton Garden Inns, some of the Marriott, some of the chains that cater to business people, very reasonable. Now, they're not Hotel 6, so you're going to get a different experience at Hotel 6 than you do at a Hampton Inn or a Hilton Garden Inn. I spend a little bit extra to have that nice experience. To me, I'm not a big fan of having breakfast at the hotel. I'm never quite sure what it's going to be like. And I like to have as much influence over my experience of breakfast as possible. So I always book my hotel near the nearest Starbucks. I know the kind of coffee I'm going to get, the kind of pastry I'm going to get. They almost always have that Greek yogurt that's really good. So I have a way of ensuring a certain type of breakfast. in a place where I know I'm going to enjoy the experience. It has Wi-Fi. It's going to be great. Then, of course, there is the reason you are traveling. That could be a business experience or a vacation. Notice that is number 9. That's the 9th thing on the list. So the idea is to make sure that you enjoy all these things going up there and then choose to enjoy wherever you're going. If it's a vacation, you're probably not going to have too much trouble enjoying that. They're meant to be enjoyable. If, however, it's a business trip, you want to decide, how do I want to enjoy this business trip? Am I going to enjoy my experience of doing whatever business I'm doing, being with those people, etc.? You want to make sure you plan that, think about that in a way that you can enjoy it. And number 10 is the trip home. A lot of people who travel have a tendency to kind of rush to the experience, try to enjoy the experience, and then rush home. If they're on a vacation, they'll wait till the very last flight on that Sunday before they finally fly back. Well, now they're exhausted. It's an exhausting trip back. The next day you're exhausted because you haven't given yourself any time to recoup from the travel. Business trips, a lot of businessmen and women will go in there and do their business and then jump on the plane. They'll get home about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Traveling is exhausting if you're not careful about it, and even if you are, it's just a stressful traveling experience. So you want to make that as enjoyable as possible. I almost always try to travel on the next day. If I'm doing a presentation, I almost always will go in the day before, do the presentation, enjoy the town I'm in, enjoy a nice meal somewhere, and then come back the next day. So there you have my top 10 travel tips. I hope this has been helpful to you. Now, remember, this is just how I enjoy doing it. You might take these and do these differently. But can you see the concept of choosing how we want to be and then choosing all of the ways we're doing things? Traveling, packing, security, the plane, the rental car, the hotel, when we go home, choosing to do that in a way that is congruent with our highest purpose, congruent with the quality or characteristic we want to bring to the experience, which for me is joy. So if you want to enjoy travel more, I would encourage you to try some of these things. See how they work for you. See how you can enjoy your experience. And here's to you, bringing more clarity, confidence, and creativity to everything you do. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.